Hello, Pietro Zucco here from Messi Circuits, and it has been a while since I posted the last video. It's because I caught the flu. I have been off the grid for about 3 weeks. My voice is still not okay, but hey, I want to create more content, so here we are. Today we are going to turn apart this guy here. It's the Olivetti M10 released in 1983, and this was my first ever computer. Before this, I had a video game console, the Magnavox Odyssey 2, which at the time, the end of the 70s, it was kind of competition for the Atari 2600. But this was my first ever computer. I learned to program on this guy here. This wasn't a common computer for a kid at the time, and the reason is because a cousin of mine, who unfortunately passed away many years ago, he bought these for his job, but for some reason, I don't know why, he couldn't use it or didn't want to use it, I don't know, and he wanted to sell it, but it was too expensive, nobody was buying it, so when he saw me, and he was so into computers at the time, was so fanatic about it, so he decided to give it to me. Not just a computer, but also a plotter, which I will review in another video. It's like a plotter, it's like a printer, but it has a pen and draw things. Anyway, in another video. This computer is amazing because you could connect it to a modem, you can connect it to a printer, you can connect it to a barcode reader, and it could work with batteries, with a power supply. I think it was used a lot by journalists in the time because you can connect it to a phone line with a modem and send your article to the newspaper. And it has a full system inside to have like an address book, and you can program it, you can write text. It was amazing for the time, and it's still amazing nowadays. So the reason why I want to turn this apart and check something inside is the battery. These computers used to have a small battery inside, a rechargeable one, which was meant to keep the clock alive. So when you turn it off and you turn it on again, you still have the time and the date current to the time you turn it on. And this clock consumed very little energy, so this battery was able to keep it for months running with the internal clock, so you can actually have the date updated. And otherwise, if the battery doesn't work, then you will have the date reset to factory default, and a year that is not current. So the problem is that these batteries inside, they have acid, and with the time they are old and they leak the acid into the board, in the circuit board. And that acid can damage it even permanently and can ruin it completely forever. So I managed to get it back since it was like 20 plus years store. And I finally managed to get my computer back again. And now I want to open it and see if the battery is leaking. Maybe it is. Maybe it's completely ruined this computer. I don't know. Let's come with me and let's check it out. Well, this is a closer look at the Olivetti M10. As you can see, the panel on the screen, the protector, is quite damaged. And that's because when I was a kid, I tried to clean it up with acetone. I didn't know the difference. Instead of using alcohol, and the acetone, well, damaged it. I might find a way to replace it, maybe in eBay or something like that. Let's see. Let's take a look around this computer and see what it has to offer. On one side it has the volume, and then on the back we have several connectors. On this one you can actually connect a barcode reader. Then you have for the tape. I have the cable, but unfortunately I don't have the tape recorder anymore. This is the connector for the printer and an RS-232 connector. Finally, the power supply and a reset button. This is the plotter, which unfortunately it's not working anymore. If you remove the front panel, you put the paper there, and then there is this head here which has some little pens, which I don't have at the moment, but these pens move and you can create different shapes when using it. It was amazing to see it work actually, because it doesn't have any sharp edges, everything's smooth. And internally I just probably broke something when I was a kid, I don't know, but I will try to restore it to its original glory. It needs to be cleaned up, and maybe some of the integrated circuits are broken. Let's see if I can find them. I don't know, it's going to be an interesting project. Back to the M10, here we have a memory expansion. It originally comes with 8 kilobytes of RAM, but you can expand it to 32. Then there is this bus connector here, which probably you can connect to a dock station. I don't know, I don't remember. Finally, here you can put batteries, because you can use it with the power supply, which I don't have anymore, and you can also put simple AA batteries and take it around with you. Well, let's get started and open it, see if the internal battery is actually leaking. Well, here we have it in all its beauty, electronics from the 80s. This is actually the battery here, and let's see if it's actually leaking. From here, I think it is. Let's take a closer look. Here we can see that actually the little bastard is leaking. Hopefully it didn't damage much of the circuit, let's say. Let's remove the main board and see how the conditions are on the other side and start desoldering this battery. Let's try to see where the pins are located. One is here and the other one next to it. It's pretty easy. Sorry, this is so stupid, but I forgot to press record when I was desoldering the battery. Anyway, let me tell you what happened. The battery was located here, as you can imagine. On the other side, I just desolder that area, those pins, using a desoldering pump. Basically, what you do, it creates a vacuum and then it sucks the solder material into that container and cleans the contacts. And then we're holding the soldering iron on one side. With my hand, I was pulling the battery out. Then I proceed to use some cotton swabs in isopropyl alcohol to remove the chemicals that the battery leaked into the board. As you can see, some part of the coating of the board has been removed, but I think it's in good condition. This is the evil battery, and as you can see, some chemicals are leaking out of it. Those chemicals are the ones who can corrode the circuit board. So be careful, if you have an old computer, you might have this problem too. Let's put it back together and see if it works. Moment of truth. Yes, it works. Decided to remove the damage protection panel so you can properly see the screen. Here you have basic for programming basic, text for creating your text files, telecom for connecting to a modem, address for an address book. In such a small computer at that time, having all of these was pretty amazing. It seems that the keyboard is broken, probably the cables are broken inside or it's dirty, I don't know. I wanted to write the typical basic program of 10 print Hello World and then 20 go to 10, but we can't because I cannot use the number 1 or 2 or 3. So let's try a workaround. Cannot use the double quotes, so I'm gonna just write 8 print and that's it. And that is gonna just print an empty line. And then we can have a 9 go to 8 and that will do. So it's printing empty lines. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so happy the computer still works. I want to actually restore it to its original glory, clean it up, get it perfect, and I want to make more videos about the process of cleaning it up and also show you internally how it works, how to program it, and know a little bit more about the Olivetti M10. Remember to subscribe, stay tuned, and as always, thanks for watching.